Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and this is definitely an obscure one for me. So having spent quite a good amount of time building and talking about Victrix models, I had never built any Carthaginians really. And then I stumbled across these guys from Agema Miniatures, and I believe this was originally a Kickstarted kit, but these are Hannibal's African Veterans. This is a plastic kit, and I'm not sure who put these out. You do get 21 in a box, which for traditional historical games, probably not the most. But here we have a look at the basic sprue, of which we have 7 in the box. Let's take a little bit closer look there. So you have a kind of at ease body. You've got 2 in the chainmail, whereas this one's got a little bit harder. Is it lamellar or something like that? For such a small sprue, though, at least we have a couple of different options, and I'm going to take a wild guess that these heads are going to be pretty much about the same size as a lot of the other options out there from like Victrix or Wargames Atlantic. So if you do want to modify it or play around with it, that is definitely going to be a possibility. So we have 7 heads, 3 bodies, 3 shields, and then all of the various arms. Pretty straightforward, pretty basic. But you know what? This is definitely something that you don't see very often. And, you know, specifically with the Carthaginian armor and those helmets, a nice little combination. So I'm going to grab a couple of sprues of these. We'll put them together and we'll see how they turn out. Grab those directions while I'm at it. Alright guys, so we started getting some of our Carthaginians all put together here. And overall, they're pretty decent, nice little guys. I had a bit of a time fighting to clean the insides of their shields. That was quite a challenge. They did not really want to cooperate with that. And the thinness of both the javelins and the spears proved to be an issue when trying to remove them from the sprue. I think I got everything fixed up. And I'm now thinking that's not the right head. Maybe it is. I don't know. That looks more like a Viking or Dacian head. But you know what? Considering how many ancient heads I've got laying around. Okay, maybe it is his. Because this guy has a similar one. It's hard to say. I feel like the poses are a bit limited. You have everybody who's going to have their spears, you know, at attention like that, and then you're going to have the guys who have theirs tilted a little bit forward, and then you're always going to have these kind of front rank guys that are ready to throw them. And the spot where the weapons would attach to the hand did not really have a lot of wiggle room. There was just a very small notch, so I think these are going to be very easily broken. Be careful with them. But then again, you know, you probably want to be careful with most all of these thin spear bits for historical kits anyways. Now, what I should have done is grabbed a bunch of Dacians, because at least time-wise would have been pretty similar. I grabbed a couple of other random Romans. Because who else is going to be fighting the Carthaginians, right? Oh man, now I wish I had got those Numidians out. I have a box of Numidians that I've been waiting to build. So what I found was interesting is, you know, those integrated bases work great with Mantic bases. Now, I know Renedra makes these, but, you know, if you have a lot of Mantic kits laying around, both the circle and square ones, when you're putting them in the base, there's just a tiny little excess space, but you know what? That's easily filled if you're going to, you know, throw a bunch of glue and sand on top of these anyways. That should not be an issue to fill. Now, somewhere, aha, I was like, I knew I had them here somewhere. I went ahead and tried painting some up. Very simple, metal chain mail, white tunics, goldish bronze leg armor. I don't even know what they're called. And kind of gold helmets, as well as shields. I hate painting white. I cheated and used an off-white. It's either a Vallejo Ghost Gray or their Splinter Cell camo. I'm not sure which one. Now, silly me, I didn't even realize that. Why didn't I put them in there? I don't know. That would have made a whole lot more sense, wouldn't it? And then we have one of the hurlers. I mean, overall, it's a pretty nice little simple kit. Getting a hold of these is going to be the real challenge. I came across this at a Black Friday sale, probably about a year ago now. I've had these guys sitting around waiting to get their moment in the spotlight for that long. And from the prices, at least, I think those of you in the UK might have an easier time with this. Those of us in the States, I mean, if you're looking specifically for Carthaginians, obviously, they're going to be your go-to company. I know Victrix makes some. I don't have any of those that I can really play around with at the moment. I thought I had some. I don't know where I put them now. But, yeah. Just to give you an idea, once they've been based, so here's an actual Victrix figure, one of their auxiliaries. And you can see that size-wise, they're pretty similar. I think they're going to match up quite well. So if you wanted to do a mixed force of Carthaginians from both companies, I think that would be doable. When you start having the warlord stuff enter the equation is when things get questionable, because there's just such a difference in size. He's barely going up to the Carthaginian stomach. I don't think that's how things played out in real life. I could be wrong, and it wouldn't be the first time, but yeah, just something there to be aware of. Now, if you wanted to get really crazy and have them, you know, tangle with like conquest models or something, that's when you really are going to see some size issues there. Definitely in a 25, 28 millimeter range. So here with a late Empire, late Republic Roman. I'm like, what is this guy? Just as a nice size comparison. So other than the limited amount of poses and the smaller amounts you get, obviously, you know, you buy in bulk, you're going to have a lot more. And for this kind of figure, you're definitely going to want to have them in big blocky formations. Me, I'm much more of a skirmish fan. So having a nice little Carthaginian force, and especially if I wanted to play around with the bits that I have from other companies, I think I can get a nice looking force together. Now, at the very least, I've got a nice little block of troops ready to deploy, and I figure if I use some of the command options from some of my Roman kits or throw in some metal figures, we'll have a nice little command section to lead them into battle. So we'll put a link down below to Agema Miniatures website. Hopefully everything is still up and running, and hopefully if they have this stuff still in stock, they'll be able to hook you guys up there as well. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.